The first of China's new class of big-deck amphibious assault ships is rapidly taking shape, and we can now get a much better look at the vessel's twin-island configuration. The design choice is typically made to simplify air operations and is very likely another indicator of this class of vessels being tailored, at least in part, for going to sea with enhanced air wings that include larger types of drones. Recent photos of the first of the Type 076 landing helicopter dock ships, known in the West as the Yulin class, under construction at the yard on Changsing Island in Shanghai, first reveal one island superstructure added to the deck as of September 26, followed by another, installed as of September 28. Since then, more close-in shots have provided details of both island superstructures, which were still surrounded by scaffolding as of October 3. The Type 076 is not the first aviation-optimized warship with twin islands. Notably, the twin island configuration was chosen for these vessels since it makes aircraft operations more straightforward, with indications that the Type 076 will be heavily geared toward generating air power, including in the form of heavier fixed-wing drones. This kind of design is especially relevant. Simply put, having two islands means that one can be dedicated to navigation and other primarily ship-related taskings, while the other is used exclusively for controlling flight operations. When it comes to drones, the additional demands in terms of moving them around the deck remotely may also have helped reach this design decision. As well as the twin islands, the Type 076 has other features that suggest the primacy of air operations in its mission spectrum. Already obvious in previous imagery is the very large open flight deck, substantially wider than on other amphibious assault ships. There is also all but certain that a catapult is installed on the ship's bow, which will likely be complemented by arresting gear to accommodate, in particular, stealthy uncrewed combat air vehicles and other larger fixed-wing drones. Also speaking to the increased emphasis on air operations is the apparent space for an aircraft elevator on the port side of the stern end. This would be in addition to another large elevator at the center of the stern, as found on the Type 075. So far, there is no sign of a ski jump takeoff ramp, though this could be potentially added in the future. However, it may be the case that the catapult, expected to be an electromagnetic aircraft launch system, would be sufficient for launching fixed-wing aircraft at higher operating weights. Using EMALS also has particular benefits for drone operations, these systems being better suited to launching smaller and lighter aircraft. As expected, the Type 076 is therefore shaping up to be much more than a traditional amphibious assault ship, which also makes sense given its overall size, falling roughly between China's current largest amphibious warship, the Type 075, and the country's newest and largest aircraft carrier, the Fujian. The Type 076 is roughly 864 feet long and 141 feet wide. By comparison, again based on satellite imagery, the Type 075 is 784 feet long and 105 feet wide, while the Fujian is 1,036 feet in length and 275 feet in width. While it's still the case that the Type 076 appears to be primarily intended to operate rotary-winged aircraft, like a more traditional amphibious assault ship, all signs currently point to drones being a major part of its air wing too. Once again, the twin island configuration should help make the integration of both crewed and uncrewed aircraft simpler. Apparent mock-ups of China's stealthy GG-11 Sharp Sword UCAV have emerged at a test and slash or training site on Changsing Island, a little over a mile from where the first Type 076 is being built. This adds to the weight of evidence suggesting that the GG-11 or a related development is set to be part of future air wings for the People's Liberation Army Navy's carriers and its more modern big-deck amphibious assault ships. There are many other potential mission sets, including electronic warfare systems, carrying directed energy weapons, launching decoys, as well as more generally extending the targeting capabilities of friendly forces, providing targeting data to anti-ship ballistic missiles, long-range anti-ship cruise missiles, as well as crewed strike aircraft, would be particularly relevant for the PLAN. The construction of the first Type 076 vessel has so far been proceeding at an impressive pace. We likely won't have to wait long before more details of this fascinating and very impressive design begin to emerge, including a better idea of what kinds of aircraft, crewed or otherwise, it might operate.